hour mat work session I'd like to share with you, and its main aim is to mobilise your spine, to strengthen the abdominals, strengthen the glutes and open out the hips. We're going to start lying down. So if you take to your mats, feet flat on the floor, arms nice and long by the side of your body. And just start by bringing the breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just a moment here, just noticing your body, noticing your breath. And then notice your feet. Bring your attention to the soles of your feet. Feel the heels against the ground and feel how your toes spread away from the heels, creating space for all those tiny joints in the feet. As you come up the body, I want you to notice the contact that you have at the back of your pelvis, the sacrum where the spine and the pelvis meet. And then on the bra line, so the very lower border of your shoulder blades, just about roughly where the bra line is, we feel the connection or the contact of the ground against that area of the body. The third point is the very base of your skull, where the spine and the skull meet. We place the head down. I just want you to have a moment to notice those 3 points of contact. And as you notice those contact points, you'll notice a sense of space underneath the neck. I want you to lengthen, find a little bit more space there. Same with the lower back. Feel that sense of space under the lower back. And the degree of curve is very personal to you. So there's no kind of exact science as to how big your curve should be. But I need you to notice that there is a sense of space, the contact of the base of the spine, the middle back, and the base of your skull. And from here, we're just going to start with a gentle pelvic tilt. So I stand in my feet, I notice the feet, and I roll my pelvis back. I then roll the pelvis back down. Again, so as I stand in the feet, my pelvis tilts and I lift through my lower back. And then I roll down. Again, I roll my pelvis, I lift up through into my lower, and then my middle, and then I roll down through the spine. I tilt the pelvis and I lift my tailbone, my lower back, my middle back. And then I roll down again, noticing my middle back coming on the mat, my lower back, and then my tailbone. Standing in the feet, tilt to my tailbone, my lower back, my middle back, and I start to lift towards my upper back. And this position I would refer to as the bridge. I want you to make sure that we don't push the ribs too far forwards. We feel that sense of space through the front of the hips, a softening in the ribs and a lengthening through the base of the skull. The arms are reaching away from you like branches of a tree, growing away from the main centre, the trunk, growing and lengthening. Then with my hips high, I let my heart come down and then I lift it back up again. So we're just reversing this, and I want you to notice the back of the body coming down and then lifting up. And then the upper back, the middle back, down towards your lower back, and then coming back up again. Roll down, upper, middle, lower. Then the tailbone comes down, and you arrive back, noticing those 3 points of contact and the feet against the ground. Bring your left hand up, so I bend my elbow, my arm comes up, and it reaches into the space behind me. As I reach, I lean into my right ribs. I move into this space. Really important. We start to get into the side of the body. Center and bring the arm back. The other arm lengthens and we lean into the right sides of our body, looking slightly away from the arm to find that space. And then come back. We do the same again with the left arm. And as I turn my head, I'm breathing in and finding, think of this as like a yawn, that morning, oh, there. Then we bring it back to centre. Other side, breath in. As I turn my head, I lean into my right ribs, and then I draw my arm and back down to the side. Now my leg joins in, so my right leg, left arm, so same arm and leg, reaching away. Big side line. And my ribs are going away. And then I draw back to centre. Try and keep the back ribs down as the leg and arm lengthen. Move into the side of your body as you inhale. Then the arm and leg can come back. Same again. Breath in and lean into the side of the body. Breath out, comes back in. One more time. Inhale, reach the leg away. Imagine someone's pulling the thigh bone away. You're moving into your right ribs and then turn into my left. And then I come back to my centre. From here I come back to my tilts. My pelvis rolls back and I come up through my spine and I find my feet. I gather through my sit bones and I'm opening through the front of my hips, my arms reaching away. I let my left hip lower. Stand on my left foot to lift my hip. Right hip lowers. Stand on the right hip, lift. Sending it down. And push up. Send it down. And lifting up. Send it down. And lift it up. Lower it down. And lift it up. Lower it down. Roll through that left side. Then roll up the left side. Right side down, roll down, and roll up. So I'm just coming down the side of my body. I lower the hip, then from my shoulder blade to my waist to my hip I come down. Then I come up that same side. Other side down, armpit, shoulder blade, down to the hip, and then come up to come to centre. Roll down through the spine and arrive on the mat. Now just let your left knee, just let it fall open to the side, so it flops open. And the opposite hip is going to come across a little bit, that's okay. Let the hip come back down, then bring the left knee in. The right knee flops open, and then I bring my left hip down, and my right knee comes in. My left knee flops open so that the outside of my leg is somewhere close to the floor. Please don't worry if it doesn't get there. My aim is to keep the other knee, my foot flat, so I'm standing in the right leg as my left knee opens. But to come back, my right hip comes down, then I close with my inner thigh on the left side. Right hip opens, and then left side down, and come to centre. We'll do it one more each side. Flop the leg open, roll into my right hip and close. Flop the right leg open, roll back into my left hip and close. Again, hands by the side. And move into your tilt. Tailbone, lower back, middle back, upper back, coming up and into the bridge. So this time I just open my arms out to the side slightly. Imagine I've got a glass of water on each hip. And I move into my side ribs. I glide into the side of my body. My shoulder, waistline, yeah? Think about those ribs moving into them. And a lot of this work is coming from, when I'm going left, I'm almost pushing from my right foot. My left foot, and it sends me into the right side of my body. My head just gently moves in the opposite direction to where my rib is going. So I'm just exploring the sides of my body. I go to one side and then I come down a vertebrae. I go to the other side and come down a vertebrae. Across and down, across and down, across and down until I'm all the way back down onto my mat. My hands come to the side. I let my left knee flop open. So this is where this outside border of my leg comes into it. I push down into the outside of the leg and onto my other foot, and I lift my hips up. So I send them forward. Don't worry if it's not too high, okay? I just want you to get that feeling of lifting up. Then roll down into the right hip and close. The right hip opens, and then I lift my hips. I roll back down, and I close. Opening up the left side, lifting my hips, and then I roll down. Last time, opening out, sending it up, rolling down, and back to center. Roll up through your spine, tailbone, lower back, middle back, upper. Spiral your hands, and my hands turn and they reach up to the ceiling. They go behind me. Once the arms are behind me, I reach away. Then I let my heart soften. I let my ribs soften. I roll down through the spine, finding my tailbone. Then I lift my arms, and it's as if I'm pushing my arms through peanut butter, reaching towards the base of my mat, and they come back. We'll do that again. Tailbone, lower back, middle back, and upper, standing in the legs. Turn the palms and reach your arms into the space behind you. Once they're back, imagine someone's pulling your wrist and sending them back. Keep that feeling, long arms. Heart softens. You roll down through the spine. Then the palms turn and you push from your armpits to your elbows, your wrists, fingers, and arrive back by your side. Let the left knee open. Push your hips up. Then close the knee, keeping those hips lifted. Roll down through the center. Open up the right knee. Lift the hips. Close the knee in and roll down through the center. Left knee opens and I lift, and then I close the knee. Standing on my feet, my knees come back to parallel. I roll down through the spine. One more time, the right knee flops open. I lift my hips, I close my knee in, and I roll down. I'm going to give you one more option with this. The knee opens, and then I lift my hips. I close the knee, then I open my right knee, it goes to the floor, and then I roll down into my left hip, then I close my right knee. I open up my left. Oops, no, we go back, we go to the right, and I lift, I close, I open my left, and I roll into my right hip, and I come back center. Left knee again opens, send my hips up, then I close the knee, open my right knee, roll down into my left hip, close my right knee in, open out the right, then lift, then close, open up the left, roll down into my right hip, and then close that knee in. Finding your feet, tail, lower, middle and upper, into the bridge. Lift the arms and reach them into the space behind you. Send them back, and with a sigh, roll your spine down. Notice your tailbone, your middle back, and bring your hands above your chest. Link your fingers, pull the elbows away. Imagine your shoulder blades like bars of slippery soap glide into the outside of your rib cage. And the hands come back to support the very base of your skull. So the head is sitting in a hammock which your arms and your upper body have created for the head to sit in. So my armpits hug me round. And I'm gathering round, my elbows in the peripheral vision. I inhale. And as I exhale, I lift from my heart, I round up, gazing towards my navel, just ensuring that my pubic bone stays down, I don't tuck up. down, and I look towards my navel. I breathe in. As I breathe out, I might go a little bit deeper. Then I lay down, and you can apply a little bit of length to the back of the neck, thumbs drawing the head away. Breathing out to come up, pause and breathe in. Deepen as you curl a little bit more, head and shoulders come down. Breathe out, come up, and on the in-breath, slide a leg away, reach it out. As it comes back, deepen your curl, then lay your head and shoulders down. Head and shoulders up, other leg reaches away. The leg comes back as you deepen, head and shoulders go down. Head and shoulders come up, and the leg lengthens on your in-breath. Draw it back, deepen on the out-breath. Head and shoulders down. Breathe out and roll up, gaze into the navel. Send the leg out long. Draw it back and curl a little bit deeper. Head and shoulders down. This time, as you lift, send the leg away. That's your out breath. And on the in breath this time, the knee opens and comes in. The heel is coming towards my sit bone. I then close the knee back to centre as I deepen my curl, then lay my head and shoulders down. The other leg reaches out, then that leg, the knee opens and comes in. Closing the knee, I deepen my curl, and then my head and shoulders go down. If I turn this way, you might see easier. So as I curl up, I send the leg away. The knee opens and the heel comes in. I close the knee and come deeper. Then my head and shoulders go down. Curl up and the other leg extends. And then I draw that knee in. The knee opens and comes in. I close it. And as I close, I wrap myself around into my centre. Head and shoulders come down. So this time, your head and your shoulders come up, and then you send both legs out. When both legs go out, we want to make sure we're leaning into the back ribs. My head is supported by my hands, and it's rested. My legs are extended, my sitting bones are gathering together. Skin of the pubic bone and my lower abdominals drawing up and going behind my navel into the back of my body. So all those energetic lines really switched on. I tap 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I then lift one leg and pop it down. I lengthen and lift. Notice it's not too high, it's a lengthening and a lowering. It's a lengthening and a lowering. Pulling back to lengthen and drawing back into my back. Navel towards the back of the body. Not downwards, it goes diagonally back. Yep, 2 more. Lifting and lowering, lifting, lowering. As the feet come in, I even curl up deeper. Then I lay my head and shoulders down. So for the next one, you can lift one or both feet. Just see how it feels for your lower back. We don't want the arch to increase in the lower back. That's the most important thing. So with my hands supported at the base of the skull, I inhale. I exhale and I curl my head and shoulders up. And it's like I've just shortened between my pelvis and my ribs here. I keep that distance as I lift one or both feet off the floor. Keep there, then I lay my head down, then I place my feet down, all done with control. Lifting head and shoulders, gathering, keep hold of the abdominals as you let the feet float up, head down and feet down. Again, curling up, feet up, head down, feet down. 2 more times. Head comes up, feet come up, head goes down, feet go down. Head comes up, feet come up, head goes down, and the feet go down. Really well done. Hands back by the side of your body, coming into some work for the glutes. So this combination is can be quite challenging. I'm going to keep the repetitions fairly short just for the duration of this session, but obviously if you find it's helpful and it's quite a nice one that you enjoy, then we can increase the repetitions. That's absolutely fine. So for today we're going to work in 3s. I would normally work in at least 5s, but we'll just see how we go with it, especially if it's your first time through. Let's tilt back and come up into our bridge. My hips are open and my knees are parallel. I feel the ground under my feet. There's 2 options. So if you're fairly conditioned to this sort of work, if you've been doing Pilates or you've been doing body conditioning stuff, you may find that you can manage the set with your hands up over your chest. If this is too much here, then the arms can come down. So I'm going to work with my arms down for today, and maybe on the other side I'll work with my feet, my arms up, and see how we go. So to start with, I'm going to squeeze my knees in and release. My hips stay high, it's just my knees squeezing in together. Squeeze them in, one more time, squeeze them in and release. Then I pull up the feet, pull them up towards my shins and down. So I just lift my feet up and down. 2 more. Up and down, up and down. Now really stand on your right side, and there might be a slight shift to the right so that I can then really push into my right leg to lift my left foot up, just an inch or 2. Comes down. I then really stand, and this is your peripheral line. I want you to really notice that side of the body, and it's going to help you to find stability as you stand. So we don't need to stay in centre. We're quite often moving off of centre. Yeah, lifting and lowering, lifting and lowering, lifting and lowering. So the next challenge is to straighten one leg away. We keep the hips in line, my thighs are in line, and then I circle my leg for 3, for 2, and 1 in the other direction, 3, and 2, and 1. Then I let the hip lower on that side, it rolls down, it then rolls up to parallel, again comes down, and up to parallel, down, and up to parallel. I then place the leg and the bottom down. Then everything, so I'm laying flat on my back. I now send the leg up, lift, and come down. Leg and the hip comes up, and come down. One more time. Lift and lower. Then this time I lift and I stay there, and I pulse up to the ceiling. 3, 2, 1. The leg opens out to the side. 3, 2, and 1. The leg goes up and over across. It's my right inner thigh I've got to keep hold of. Yep, and across. Bend the knee, pop the foot down. Send the other leg away, go along and circle. 3, 2, 1. Option to have the arms lifted. 3, 2, 1. We lower the hip down, and then we push and we roll the hip up. Roll the hip down, roll the hip up. Once more. Roll it down, roll it up. Leg goes down, butt goes down. Send the leg and the hip up, and down, and up, and down, and up. They come down together. Then we lift and we stay there, we pulse. 3, 2, 1. The leg opens out, and 2, and 1. We then lift and come across. By all means, have the hands on the floor, it's absolutely fine. And across. Then bend the knee. Arms reach to the space behind you. Go long. Roll yourself down. Wonderful. The arms come up. And I bring my ankles and knees together. Cross my left leg over my right. Open my arms to the side. I send my knees to to the left as I turn my head to the right. My right shoulder stays down. From my right side, I draw myself back. I look to the left as I only pull my knees to the right. My left side of the body draws me back to centre. One more each side. The left knee is bringing me to the left, and then my right side draws me back to centre. Right knee takes me to the right, and then my left side, shoulder, ribs, waist and hip. Uncross the legs, other way round, notice the knees come close together, arms open, and I move across to the right. My left shoulder is down. This is why my arms are out to the side, to encourage the shoulder down. And my arms just aren't loose and spaghetti, they're reaching like those branches from a tree, widening. Then they come back through from my armpit, waist and hip. The other side, I reach the arms as I turn, onto my microphone. Then I roll down through that right side. One more time. Reaching the arms so that the shoulder blades are wide across the back of your ribs. And then you come back. Remember those back ribs are down as you reach and draw yourself back to centre. Really nice. Let's bring the left knee into the chest and just hold the top of the knee. Just do a few circles here. Other direction. Send your right leg out across the floor, keeping hold of that left knee. Reaching out through that right side. Left hand out to the side. Bring the right knee across the left knee across to the right. And then just roll back a fraction. Doesn't matter how far. Just ease across. And then ease off again. Again, ease across. And bring it back. One more time. Easing across, just keep breathing. And come back. Lay on your back. And then have your hands hold that left leg. Get that leg straight as you can. Back ribs down. This knee can be bent slightly, but I would prefer if you could really lengthen out through there so we get this hip open. Then just soften the knee. And then go long again through that leg. And then just soften. And then go long through that leg. And soften. And go long. You can hold shin, you can hold calf. You might be able to hold your toes. Fantastic. And then bend one more time. Going long. And bend the knee. Bend your right foot, put your left foot onto your right thigh, the knee opens out. Both hands come around and take hold of that right leg, the foot's off the floor. And then we just circle. See if we can just circle in and around. So this is quite a tight stretch. This is just what my body needs, but I do find this quite challenging. So I'm more than happy to be here. Some of you will find that if you've got quite open hips, we can bring ourselves around to hold onto the leg and then do your circles, or we can hold onto the top of the knee and do the circles. This just makes me feel a little bit wooden. I like to feel quite fluid. So it's about the feel of the movement rather than thinking, I want to progress. Find where it feels nice and where the movement is available. Then we unravel, right knee comes in, and the foot can go flat first and just guide that right knee round in circles on its own. Try and keep that tail down. And the other direction, circling into the hip. Beautiful. Then hold the knee quiet into the chest as you send the left leg out. Back ribs are down. The back of the neck is long. Right arm opens out and the right leg comes across to the left and you move across. And then you gently rock back. You move across, and then you roll back. Again, just breathe your natural breath. Try not to hold the breath. Do you know the body loves movement? So to really get some loosening and some freedom around the joints. Come onto your back, send the leg up, holding the leg. Again, anywhere that feels right for you. And then once you're there, we just bend and we come out of the stretch. We then ask to go back there with length, backwards down. And again, we soften. And then we go long. We soften and we go long. One more time, soften and we go long. I bend my left knee, my right foot comes onto the thigh, the knee opens out. Both my hands come in to take hold of my left leg, and then I circle in and around, in and around. Yeah, so remember those different positions where you can be. I would prefer you to have your head down, so the idea is that you bring that knee closer and around. Then the other direction. Circling around. And there we are done. Let the legs go out straight. Move your feet side to side, just loosening. Then to centre, open out the feet out and in. Just that lovely loosening into the hips. And then just pause. You can bend your knees if you want to, but just be in stillness for a moment or two. Take a few breaths in to invite the breath into the abdomen, into the ribs, and into the chest, expanding. Hosting the breath out. One more deep breath in. Wonderful. Brilliant. Okay, so there you have your half-hour session, with the aim of the session being mobilising your spine, opening your hips, strengthening your abdominals, and also strengthening the glutes. So a lovely all-rounder. Now you can take elements out of that and you can just use them the way you feel you need to. So just a short session. This video is going to be available on my YouTube channel. There's lots of other areas, sessions on there as well, where I've just taken sections. So there's 10-minute workouts if that's something that you feel might be more useful to you. But use it as you need. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you find it useful. And I look forward to speaking or seeing you all again soon. Thanks ever so much. Bye.